My name is Ryan, and I've always been a shy person, struggling to make friends. With my average looks and lack of athletic talent, I often felt overlooked in the classroom. The girls would even tease me, calling me unflattering nicknames. However, there was one area where I truly excelled: academics. Since I wasn't very social and preferred to stay home, I devoted all my time to studying diligently at my desk. I found great joy in the solitude of learning, immersing myself in my studies. Thanks to this unwavering dedication, I managed to gain admission to one of the top all-boys high schools in the state and consistently ranked among the top 10 students during my time there. This academic success then led to my enrollment in a well-known state university. Nonetheless, after years of solely focusing on my studies, I began to crave a more fulfilling and exciting life. To break free from my monotonous routine, I decided to undergo a personal transformation. Drawing inspiration from magazine articles on how to become a popular guy, I dyed my hair and paid closer attention to my fashion choices, aiming to create a more modern and appealing appearance. Finishing university, I never took my studies lightly. As a diligent student, I dutifully attended all my classes, endearing me to the faculty. Foresightfully, I had already begun seeking professor recommendations for promising companies. This strategy paid off when a major food manufacturer offered me a position. My parents were delighted by my job placement. The decent salary allowed me to move from my small flat into a more spacious rental. As a working adult, I hoped to forge meaningful friendships, enjoy social outings, and perhaps even find a romantic partner. However, my idealistic expectations did not entirely align with the realities I encountered. Despite my professional status, my life lacked the vibrancy I had envisioned. The job itself was neither exceptionally enjoyable nor dull. Many colleagues my age had joined concurrently, but their outgoing personalities and strong communication skills sharply contrasted with my own reserved nature. Feeling like an outsider, I struggled to forge close connections with them. Your significant other is the person with whom you share a close, intimate bond. This individual holds a special place in your life, and your relationship is characterized by mutual care, understanding, and affection. Together, you embark on a journey of companionship, cherishing each other's presence and building a foundation of trust and support. Your girlfriend is the one who walks alongside you, offering a unique perspective and a source of comfort during both joyous and challenging times. She is your confidant, your partner in life's adventures, and the one with whom you can express your deepest thoughts and emotions without fear of judgment. Your girlfriend is an integral part of your life, a cherished companion who helps you grow and navigate the complexities of the world. Eventually, I settled into a tranquil routine, simply moving between my home and workplace. This monotonous lifestyle held a certain serenity, but at the age of 30, everything changed when I was unexpectedly transferred to the sales department. This marked the beginning of a grueling daily grind. I had previously worked in the product department, primarily focused on order processing. It was a solitary role, with only occasional interactions with suppliers, the perfect fit for someone like me, who struggled with communication. This sudden transition to the sales department was a jarring experience, not just for me, but likely for my colleagues as well. It seemed they were short-staffed, but the decision to place me in this position was clearly a poor one. The sales team was filled with bright, outgoing individuals, and I simply couldn't find my place or adapt to the demands of the job. The workload was immense, encompassing client development, negotiations, and the creation of proposals and quotes, tasks that I was ill-equipped to handle. Being a poor communicator, I found it incredibly challenging to secure even a single contract, leaving my sales performance consistently at the bottom. To make matters worse, I was constantly assigned menial tasks by my boss and colleagues, further exacerbating my discomfort and sense of inadequacy. Here's a paraphrased version of the given text. This month, my colleagues at work expected me to take on a task that I didn't feel capable of handling. Even though I expressed my reservations, they made it clear they thought little of my abilities. Some of the female employees even went as far as to mock me, saying they wouldn't want to be married to someone as dull as me. While my coworkers steadily climbed the corporate ladder, I remained stagnant, just another ordinary, uninteresting employee among many. I guess I'll just keep falling behind the younger, more successful people. Oh well, I suppose that's my lot in life. I resigned myself. Later that day, my boss Tom summoned me to his office with a request. Apparently, one of our employees had made a promise to a client that he couldn't keep, and now the company risked losing that client if the deadline wasn't met. The mistake was serious enough that the employee, who happened to be the boss's son, could be fired. However, since I was new to the department, Tom suggested that I might be able to take the fall instead, perhaps only receiving a warning and a transfer as punishment. I understand you're in a tough spot, but asking me to take the blame isn't right. It's not fair to put that burden on me. I know you're hoping to avoid consequences, but that's not how it should work. Let's find a different solution that doesn't involve dishonesty or hurting someone else. I'm here to help, but I can't cover up for your actions. We need to figure this out together, without resorting to making someone else take the fall. I tried to stand my ground and fight back, but Tom became irate and shouted, "Can't you see you're just a burden? When will you start producing results?" Hearing those harsh words, I felt my heart sink. I no longer wanted to be there. I just needed to leave this job immediately. Tears began to flow uncontrollably. I suppose I had reached my breaking point. Later, the executive Max summoned me and bluntly stated, "If you lack motivation, you might as well quit." I simply responded, "Okay." It felt as though Tom had forced me to resign. Exhausted, I called my mother. She said, "Oh, you've been through so much. I'm proud of you for persevering. Why don't you come home and take a break for a while?" So, I returned to live with my mom. I had left this town because I disliked the rural setting, but she understood and didn't object when I wanted to move to the city. Our family runs a small deli. When I arrived home, my mom greeted me with a warm smile, saying, "Welcome back," and offered me some special chicken wings she had prepared for the shop. Tasting her homemade cooking after so long, I couldn't hold back my tears. My sister told me, "You don't have to push yourself anymore." Perhaps the unfamiliar work had caused me stress, but I wasn't feeling well, so I took some time to rest at home. Eventually, I started helping out at the deli. The customers were kind, complimenting my mom's dishes as wonderfully comforting. I felt much more at peace in this environment. About a year after returning home, I noticed a woman waiting at the bus stop while I was coming back from shopping. Suddenly, it started raining, and she seemed troubled, checking the bus schedule. Approaching her, I asked, "Is something wrong?" I usually wouldn't talk to a stranger, but I couldn't ignore her that day. "The bus is late," she said. Checking the schedule, I saw the bus should have arrived 30 minutes ago. It must be running late. "What a delay," I said. The rain was getting heavier, and there were no stores nearby to buy an umbrella. The bus showed no signs of arriving anytime soon. "If we stay out here, we'll be completely soaked. Would you like to come to my place for a while? My mom's there, so it won't just be the two of us." "Let's go inside to stay dry," I proposed. Apprehensive at first, she eventually accepted as the downpour intensified, expressing, "I appreciate your kindness, and I'll gladly take you up on that." That day's heavy rain flooded the roads, causing substantial damage. The woman couldn't immediately return home. My caring mother welcomed this stranger into our abode. Seeing my mother's friendly demeanor, the woman seemed relieved. Her name was Ava. At 30, she was 3 years younger than me. Her father ran a bridal business, and she worked there too. Ava had come to our town to inspect a new wedding venue. Although I hadn't noticed it outside, Ava was undoubtedly beautiful, yet her manner hinted at a touch of sorrow. I wondered if she harbored any significant concerns. Ava appeared delicate, her face slightly worn. My mother proudly served her homemade deli dishes. We only have this, but please enjoy them if you'd like, my mother offered. Thank you, Ava responded in a soft voice. As she tasted the food, Ava exclaimed, I've never had anything so delicious, her face lighting up with a smile. Witnessing Ava's smile for the first time stirred a sense of excitement within me. I hadn't often conversed with women before, but I felt I might be able to get along well with Ava. Despite the challenges at her workplace, the young woman named Ava handled the situation with grace. Though her colleagues seemed to resent her, possibly due to her position as the company president's daughter, Ava diligently worked to gain their recognition. However, this constant pressure seemed to take a toll on her, causing her to push herself too hard. During her stay with the narrator's family, Ava had the chance to unwind and relax. The warm welcome and support from the narrator's mother provided a refreshing contrast to the pressures she faced at work. Ava's mood visibly brightened, and she even found time to bond with the family, helping out at the deli and enjoying casual conversations. As Ava prepared to leave, the narrator's mother extended a lighthearted invitation, suggesting that Ava could return any time for more girl talk, a gesture that underscored the nurturing environment the family had provided during her visit. The experience seemed to have a positive impact on Ava, offering her a much-needed respite from the demands of her professional life. Ava replied with a smile, Then I might just take you up on that. I said, Please take care of yourself and don't push too hard. Ava then boarded the bus. I thought this might be the last time I would see her, and I couldn't help but feel a little sad. Life continued as usual, helping out at the family deli. Then one day, an invitation to a wedding arrived at our home. It was from Troy, a classmate from middle school. I remembered talking to him at the supermarket recently, where he mentioned, I'm getting married. You should come to the wedding. Meeting here must be fate. Honestly, I never liked Troy much. He used to mock me for being a bookworm during our school days. I thought about making up an excuse to skip it, but then Troy called. You must be free, so you better come to the wedding. Yeah, I replied, unable to refuse. I ended up agreeing to attend. And then came the day of the wedding. At the venue, there were many classmates. Most of them didn't seem to recognize me. They whispered and looked my way. Then Troy approached, recognized me, and called out, Hey, there you are, Donkey. At the mention of my nickname, Donkey, my classmates realized who I was. One of them asked, What are you doing now? Before I could answer, Troy mocked. He was good in school, but now he's just selling deli with his mom. How the mighty have fallen. Seriously, even with a good college degree, running a deli? You'll probably stay single forever. The others chimed in with their own harsh words. I just forced a smile, knowing it was true. Suddenly, everyone's gaze shifted behind me. Don't mock my boyfriend, please. To my surprise, Ava, dressed in a suit, stood behind me. Do you guys not feel ashamed, talking like that as adults? Ryan, you don't need to be here. Let's go, she said. Ava pulled me by the hand and led me out of the venue. Once outside, she looked startled and said, I'm sorry if I did too much, but I just couldn't stand seeing you being made fun of. No, don't worry about it. I'm actually glad. But why are you here? I asked. It turned out this venue was one of the ones her father managed, and she was there for work. Would you like to have dinner with me after I finish work? She offered. I immediately said, Of course. I was thrilled to see her again, never expecting our paths to cross. We didn't return to the wedding, but went to dinner together instead. I was actually hoping to see you again, but meeting here at the wedding venue. Maybe it's fate, she said jokingly. To her joking tone, I replied seriously, maybe it is fate. Maybe we both wanted to see each other, and fate brought us together. Those words rolled off my tongue with surprising ease, causing Ava to blush as she asked, Ryan, did you truly want to see me too? I decided to open up about my feelings, telling her how she held a special place in my heart that no one else could fill, and that I couldn't stop thinking about her. "I've been thinking about you as well," she replied, her cheeks flushing. "When you praised my hard work, it really lifted my spirits. Your words are so warm and comforting." "I believe I have feelings for you, Ryan," she confessed. From that moment, we began a long-distance relationship. Soon after, Ava was assigned to work primarily at the venue we had visited, leading to her decision to move to this area. This prompted us to take the leap and start living together, despite the relative newness of our connection. Recognizing the need to not solely rely on Ava, I found a job at a local company and rejoined the workforce. Today, I sit at my mom's house, watching as she and my girlfriend chat happily, their smiles filling me with a profound sense of contentment. For the first time in my life, I have both a supportive partner and a loving mother by my side. Joining forces, we unlock boundless potential. By pooling our talents and collaborating, we amplify our collective impact, achieving feats beyond what any individual could accomplish alone. United, we transcend the limitations of solitary endeavors, harnessing the synergy that arises when diverse perspectives converge. Through teamwork, we cultivate innovative solutions, tackle complex challenges, and create lasting change that echoes far beyond our individual contributions. In unity, we find strength, resilience, and the power to shape the world around us, one